Today, we have an icon in the music industry with us today with a vision that is literally changing and leveling the playing field because he is bringing people together with the right mind and the right spirit to advance the kingdom of God through gospel and Christian music and as a whole. Who do we have with us today, Robert Earl?
We have none other. This person is no stranger to the gospel music world. He has been doing it for a long time. A radio announcer, a president of so many different entities. TV show. He had a
Yep.
TV show as well. None other than the Bishop Kenneth Olson Wells. Welcome to the Wake Up Morning Show.
Wake up. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you,
Yeah,
Bishop.
Hey, I play the tambourine too. I'll grab one in a minute. Don't
Yeah.
play.
I told you. I just saw a videotape of somebody beating one. Was it Shirley Caesar? Yep, Beverly Crawford too. Beverly Crawford. Yeah.
So Bishop, first of all, thank you for getting up this morning with us. We're hoping that this will be kind of like a monthly segment
Right.
where you're tapping in because
About the
God
gin.
gave you a vision, I don't know how many years ago, about kind of shifting the atmosphere of the traditional music industry that we know it. So could you just tell people about the organization that God has blessed you to lead and how many people have really jumped on board with this vision?
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. So the organization is called the Gospel Industry Network. We call it the GIN.
The gin.
Not what you drink.
What, didn't Bishop G.E. Patterson said you can't make it to heaven while you sipping gin? You know what that what he did?
Yeah, he did say that.
Okay, but that's not the gin you talking about.
No, no, it's spelled the same way though. It's GIN. And if you want to go on the website while we're talking, it's called the THEGIN.org. So Gospel Industry Network. And it is exactly what it says it is. It's a network of radio, television. I'll just put it like this: all things gospel.
Right.
Anything gospel. Pastors, we even have a division for pastors now because pastors don't understand how important they are to the industry.
Yes, sir.
Their presence is needed, and we want pastors to be a part for the accountability because in Black gospel, it's one of the cultures that never has an accountability to our artists. And so we want the pastors to be there to hold people accountable, but it's all things gospel: radio, television, print media, record retailers. And that's another thing. If you are a pastor, you have a church and you have a bookstore, you are a retailer. So, and we've come together to not only network, but to come together and make some decisions about the music that we create, gospel music. The problem that we have in gospel music is we create the music, we make the music, we sell the music, we perform it, but we don't own it.
Correct.
So we're trying to get some ownership back to our music. A lot of times decisions are made about gospel music, and the people like us, even yourself, Dr. T, you get up, you do this thing for gospel music, so that the San Diego, not only San Diego, that the world, because you all are heard everywhere, and you're doing so much for gospel music, but a lot of times they don't invite us to the table.
Yes. Yes.
And they make decisions about the music. So it's kind of like, well, we're coming back in, we're making decisions for our music. It's our music,
I agree.
And we want to have something to say about it.
Well, one of the things, Bishop, what I really appreciate about this organization is that so many of us that have been in the industry for quite some time, from young people all the way up until now, there were certain organizations that was kind of like the go-to when it came to Black gospel or our music as a whole. And
Right.
at a certain point, it became the good old boys club. And the same things we were receiving on the other side, we start receiving in among ourselves, and it literally was the same people all the time. And you didn't really understand it. And if you weren't in that system or a part of the in crowd, you really couldn't get any movement. I love the fact that the Gen of the Gospel Industry Network has now leveled the playing field, so that it's not about all about who you know, but when you get into association, you find out that you're literally being introduced to the industry shakers and makers, and you have meetings and you have Zooms and you have things that artists can come on, and they're literally in front of people that they could have never got in front of before, and they're getting real education and real opportunities in the midst, and it's not about how much you buy or pay.
Right, right. That's one thing about the Gen. We allow people a seat at the table, and we listen to each other, and we value what everyone says. We just had our first conference this past July in Miami, and it was absolutely amazing. And the great thing to me was to see people that and let me tell you, it's okay to have alternatives.
Correct.
So we're not in competition with anybody, because what God told me to do and the vision that we have, we're staying focused on it. So every time we hear something about any other entity, we celebrate them. We actually, our organization is a media organization, and we promote everybody, so even the people that we were birthed out of, we promote their events, so we promote everybody.
Yeah.
But to see everybody come together and say how refreshing it was. And this is what what I felt. I was a part of an organization, and I don't have a problem with saying this organization was birthed out of the GAG, Gospel Announcers Guild, the GMWA. I served in that organization for many years. I was the national coordinator, and I just saw that there were a lot of people that should be in the room that were not in the room. And I just felt like the Lord told me, if you start this organization, it'll give people an alternative. There was a reason why people were not coming. I don't know what it was, and it didn't concern me, but I knew that I had to do something to get everybody on board.
Right.
It's even secularly, you have on television, ABC, NBC, CBS, you got all these different varieties of channels that people can go to. So in gospel, who says that you only have to have one entity?
Nobody.
We have these great entities in gospel, the Gospel Music Workshop of America. We have Donald Lawrence is over the Edwin Hawkins Music and Art Seminar. We have the Thomas Dorsey, which is the grandfather of them all. They just had an amazing conference in Orlando a couple of weeks ago. It was a great turnout. Their delegation was up. So you have, and their vision is preserving the historic choir sound, the old hymns and the anthems and all that kind of stuff. So there's a place for everybody, and it's good for you to have an alternative, and that's what Gen is. It's an alternative. So it was good to see Andre Russell from KJLH. He came out, Liz Black from New York, so we had some really, really big players, and we come together and we're trying to get solutions for our gospel music to make it easier for these artists. Now I'm gonna tell you, the game has definitely changed than it was 15 years ago. There was a system that you had to go through. These people are making it, a lot of them are making it on their own because of social media.
Right.
You have people that's getting record deals off of YouTube and Instagram. And I was watching a show with on Clubhouse with the president of entertainment, ET or something, a major secular thing. And he said that all of the people that he signed, and he's getting them off of Snapchat or Instagram, one of those.
It's the IG. They're doing IG, some Snapchat, but IG is where they're really looking. About 10 years ago, I sat down with some executives in Hollywood, and they said this is how we determine who is going to be the next star that we have in the film. And I said, oh, so I thought they were going to show me this major system, and they said we go straight to the Instagram and we go straight to the YouTube, and we look at how many
How
people are
many followers
following
you
them,
have?
and
Yep.
and if we see that they have a big following, we give them an audition, and they battle it out, and we just see who's going to bring in the numbers. It is truly a numbers game right now, but
Absolutely.
one of the things that I applaud you, Bishop, being one of the advisors to Jen, um, uh, it was not something that just was easily birthed. It took many years to actually get this momentum
Mm-hmm.
and put all the different chapters together. So some people might say, I'm listening now. How can I become a member? Is there a membership fee? How do I get involved?
Well, we have 75 affiliates across the country,
Mm-hmm.
and most likely, whatever city you're in, there is most likely a Gen affiliate there. So go on the website and whatever city you're in. For instance, in San Diego, Eddie Baltrip is the president, and Robert Earl Dean is the VP.
Mm-hmm.
So you can join through them. Join your local affiliate. In the Inland Empire, we have one Los Angeles all the way up to Seattle, and we have them in every major city. So go on the website, hit affiliates, and then your city will pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
and you can get in
I'm
contact
sorry.
with that person.
I'm excited. I've been working with you for years, even as a 15-year-old, being introduced to you with the Riverside Mass Choir. So I know what you stand for. You're old school. I love it because you're about standards. Once upon a time, gospel was looked upon as like a sacred entity, and we've
Yeah,
become so commercialized, and we've allowed the world to dictate who we should be. But we're God's chosen, and we're the
yeah,
only music that can change a person's life in a matter of lyrics, in a matter of words. Um,
yeah.
let's talk about the Grammys. I think you got some good news about the Grammys that are coming back to Los Angeles.
Well, the week of the Grammys,
Hmm.
February, the Grammys will be on Sunday the 5th.
Right.
So the 2nd through the 4th,
Hmm.
the Gen will be hosting events during the Grammy week because Grammys doesn't really recognize gospel that much. And we have gospel artists that'll be coming and we want them to feel special.
Hmm.
We're actually going to do a show on that Friday. So I think that's the 3rd.
Hmm.
We'll be doing a show then, and then we'll have some symposiums. We're going to have a fan fair where you can come and meet gospel artists and shake their hands, take pictures, and all
That's
that kind of
awesome.
stuff.
Hmm.
And we'll be doing all that kind of stuff. All the radio stations like God
Hmm.
Radio One will be there,
Hmm.
and so many others. Set up,
Hmm.
and it's just going to be great. We haven't done it in a long time, and we have affiliates coming from all over the country that'll be there.
I think
Yeah,
it's great that we will have a time to celebrate ourselves. Yes, we have the Stellars and the Doves, but the Grammys is the highest, quote unquote, in the music industry. So it's great that we'll have a presence and a representation.
Well,
yeah.
Robert Eldine, I have an Emmy.
Huh?
I have an Emmy.
A Emmy?
An Emmy.
What's
And
that?
And huh?
What's an Emmy?
It's not a
yeah,
Grammy, but I got an Emmy.
Oh,
Yeah.
praise God! Praise God for you. I'm gonna have a
So
I'm gonna have a Grammy.
you gonna have a Grammy?
Oh yeah.
Okay, then can I hold your Grammy after you get
Well,
it?
well,
I'm
you're
gonna
my
take a picture of
you.
it.
It's out the cat's out the bag. You're my manager now,
Yeah.
so you'll celebrate
I get
with
to be
me.
hold it.
You'll
Okay.
hold it. Yes, you're the manager.
Yeah.
You will help walk me through this.
So let me ask you this, Bishop. Um, during that season, will you guys actually at the Grammys? Will there be a Gin Hotel that we all stay in
Right.
to be able to continue to network? I know tickets are getting ready to go on sale for those that are actually going to attend the Grammys. I always tell people that the only time I go to the Grammys is if I have a artist in nomination, because really the Grammys is the taping is cool,
Right.
but it's all the
Other things.
other things that
Yes.
happen around the
Yes.
Grammys that make you want to be there for the week.
right. Yeah, we will have a hotel. We're working on that now. We're going to try to make sure that it's close to the airport. So
Mhm.
once we get that, just stay on the Gen,
Mhm.
THEGIN.org. Keep clicking on that, and you'll see, as we get closer, you'll get more information, as far as that's concerned.
Well,
Okay.
Well, we. Mhm,
There's a lot of events, that you all can go.
mhm.
The Dove Awards going to be in Nashville. It's going to be October the 18th. And on that Monday, the GN will be doing a symposium at the Dove Awards. Our Nashville team is going to be doing something.
Hmm.
And then July the 23rd through the 26th of 2023 will be in Norfolk, Virginia for our national convention. So we got all these events. Carol Crawford out of she's from London, but she lives in Seattle.
Seattle. Hmm.
We have a London gen, and every other year we rotate, go to London, then they come over here. So this year in October they'll be here in Seattle. So we'll be up in Seattle with our London family. But it's going to be amazing. We just stay on the gen page and you'll see different events.
Right.
Yeah.
And this organization is doing some stuff because you have a few of us members who are newly a part of the Recording Academy's class this year, and I'm one of them, and Bonita Bellamy is another. So we're in the hub of this Grammy thing. So we're glad to be a
Yeah.
part of
Yeah. We definitely have some movers and shakers. Bonita Bellamy, who you all have interviewed
it. Yes.
before, but she's one of our vice presidents.
Hmm.
We have Sheila Bell from Radio One,
Hmm.
recording artist Earl Bynum.
Hmm.
He's radio and recording
Oh,
artist
yes.
out of Virginia.
Hmm.
He's a vice president. Ron Briggs. Out of Yes Lord Radio. He actually is the vice president over Kojic Television now. Kojic has a new television thing
Shut
that
up.
they're doing out of Detroit, and he's the VP for that. So we have some really great movers and shakers. There's one thing that I really wanted to say to you all that we do have a concern about. Talking to Brian Scott from Ty Scott
Hmm.
Records, every time he talks to us now, his concern is, please tell the people that gospel music is not selling like it should sell. You know, we know that people, no, this is what he said, people aren't listening to gospel music. So we know that we have listeners. There's just not enough. Okay. If gospel is going to survive, we need people to support it. And you have to be intentional about it.
Yes.
So you have to listen to gospel music. We have more church people that listen to secular music than they do gospel music. It ain't like it used to be when we came up, y'all. We just didn't listen to secular music.
No.
That wasn't something that we did.
Nope.
And now, we've compromised.
Yep.
I even have to come through the house and yell at my kids and say, hey, what y'all listening to up in my house?
That's right. That's right.
So it's you have to be intentional, and you have to be intentional to support. So because we don't have a lot of physical product, it is important that you all go to the retail stores, pick up a CD. Those of you who still can, there's still a few of them that's being sold, but go on digitally.
Yes.
And download pay for it, of course.
That's easy.
But be intentional to buy a project so that we can get our numbers up,
Right.
And we realized this. I was watching a podcast yesterday that Beyonce's project, the estimated number that she was going to get, she's nowhere near it in sales. And then while they were talking, but they had to say, but we got to wait because we got to see how her streaming is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So people are they're streaming. The whole game has changed. And that's another thing. If you're an artist, you better get in this industry and learn this business.
That's right.
Because us and these two guys here that have been in here, if we have to come in and relearn the business, you better know if you want to make some money in it, you have to come in and relearn it too.
That's right.
I was talking to Vicky Mac Latia, who is the founder of Gospel Centrics. She was the one that discovered, I know you guys know who she is, but if you don't know Vicky Mac from LA, she discovered Kurt Franklin and Kurt Carr and so many others. She made millions of dollars from her record label, but she told me, she said, baby, I have to learn this business all over again because it's changed.
It's changed a lot.
So if you have people who have made a lot of money in the industry and things have changed so much that they have to come in and learn it over, you better learn. You better sit down and talk to somebody and find out that there is a thing called MLC, mechanical licensing.
Yep.
There's an organization that they will find your money for you, but you have to be registered.
Yep.
And if your money gets anywhere on internet and it's streamed or played, there's money that's coming through to you. And if you don't register, you'll be missing your money. And if you don't claim it, it'll go into some pot that we don't know where it goes.
That's true.
Yeah, and one of the things about it is that GEN is an educational organization, not just affiliation where we do conferences and we just get together and we kind of just pump each other up. It is a place of encouragement. It is a place of giving you an opportunity to be heard and to be seen. But more than anything else, it is an educational organization that literally is helping artists and the people in media literally navigate this time in this season. And what we love about GEN is that you have brought the best and the brightest together and basically said everybody has to put their egos to the side and we have to work together if we're going to see
common goal, the
gospel continue to grow. So Bishop, we want to thank you. We want to make this a monthly segment where you come in and give updates and let us know what's happening in the industry. We are your station, not just on the West Coast, but in all 37 countries that we're heard in. And we're going to continue to push and get people involved in this and continue to advise and be a part of this great movement. Any final words, Bishop?
No, but I just want to congratulate you guys on the amazing job that you guys are doing for gospel music. I mean, it's just like almost anything you touch right now, Dr. T, is just
for real.
It's just that season for us because we've been doing this for so long.
Yes.
And I've been to the Midway for the last couple of some of the best concerts that I've been to have been your concerts on the Midway.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
And they've been just absolutely amazing. So thank you for what you do in gospel music. You and Earl, the mayor. He's still the mayor.
He's been calling me that for years.
Yes. Well, there you have it. You have heard from Bishop Wells.
Yes.
He is the president and founder of the GEN organization, Gospel Industry Network. We're going to be having him on monthly if his time schedule permits, so that we can continue to give great gospel music. Well, as you know, anybody who is the president of something and been involved in the industry for this long must got talent in his family. And I heard that he married a pretty young lady.
Pretty one that can
and she could sing. So
and she has new music coming out soon.
Yes. So we're going to end off this whole entire segment with his only lady, not first lady, but his only lady in his life, Miss Siobhan Wells. And this is He Reigns right here on GOD Radio 1.com.